DEBx, amplifying voices, accelerating change.
Please help me welcome to the DEBx stage, Leah Goin.
In 2008, I took a course on self-expression and leadership. At that time, I was really insecure and was really afraid to let people see the real me. You see, I grew up in a family where we didn't share our feelings because they were judged. So imagine my horror when we were given the homework assignment to share with 4 people what they meant to us and why they matter. To be safe, I picked my husband and 2 kids. And even that was scary. But the one I worried about the most was my closest friend. I was so afraid if I shared my deepest feelings with her that she wouldn't feel the same way and she would reject me. And what if I got emotional and cried? What would she think? I was raised to believe that was a sign of weakness. I was terrified I would lose her friendship. But I committed to doing my homework because I follow the rules, so I reluctantly set up a time to talk. She had to do it over the phone, thank God. Then she wouldn't at least be able to see me. So I had told her in cards that she meant the world to me, but I never had the courage to share to her face how important she really is to me. But here I was about to take the plunge. Took a deep breath, dialed the number, and for the first time, I shared that she was my best friend, my surrogate mom, my business mentor, and my biggest cheerleader. I said, "You were always there for me when I was struggling, and you spoiled me rotten on birthdays and Christmas. You made me feel like I was someone real special and loved. And you saw things in me that I just couldn't see until I could." I had to pause several times, clearly, to keep my composure because this made me cry. But I made it through. When I was done, there was this long, torturous silence. I panicked. Oh my gosh, what is she thinking? When she finally spoke, she said, "Wow. I thought I would be on my deathbed before anyone ever said something like that to me." Her response brought me to tears. How could this amazing, successful woman, phenomenal grandma, and beautiful soul not know how much of a difference she's making for people? But I'm glad she now knows. The fact that I was vulnerable and shared the difference she's made in my life gave us access to an even deeper connection today. And this conversation altered my whole world. I decided right then I would never wait to tell the people that I love what they mean to me. I would tell them now so they would always know. My friend's reaction was the first of many I received when I opened my heart and shared my feelings with others. I believe we want and need to hear that we're loved, and why. My favorite speaker and author, Brené Brown, says a deep sense of love and belonging is the irreducible need of all people. We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, be loved, and to belong. So why wouldn't we want to share the difference people make in our lives? Why do we wait? We see it all the time in movies. People always wait till the loved one's dying to have the courage to tell them what they meant to them. In real life, we do the same, or worse, we wait for the eulogy. What if we told them now and it changed their life? We are quite possibly denying them the happiness of knowing that they matter. Yet we still wait. Why? Well, first off, we're afraid, like I was. We place a great amount of trust in another person when we share what we love about them. What if they don't accept those feelings? Or worse, what if they don't feel the same way? Sharing ourselves can make us feel exposed and vulnerable, which are feelings many of us would rather avoid. So as a result, we hold back. Another reason we don't share our feelings is some of us are so busy living our life and managing it that we don't even think about these things. We save these conversations for special occasions, and then we let Hallmark do the talking. And sadly, we often don't share because the majority of us assume that the people we love and care about already know these things, much like I believed when I shared with my friend. And we may say, I love you, but we don't say why or what specifically. Now, I would love to tell you that everyone I open up to feels the same or responds like my friend, but the truth is, they don't. It doesn't always work, and sometimes it can be heartbreaking, but as the great hockey player Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you don't try, you will never know the difference it could make. Not only for you, but for the other person as well. If you Google the top regrets of people who are dying, the third biggest regret was, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Many people suppress their feelings in order to keep peace with others. As a result, they settle for a mediocre existence and never become who they were truly capable of becoming. This could have easily been my regret if I hadn't seen the difference that this kind of sharing could make. And the benefits far outweigh the risks, because that feeling of love and appreciation and connection is invaluable. When I first became a mom, I promised myself I would create a home for my kids where they not only knew they were loved, they would know why I loved them. So I lavished them with positive affirmations, celebrated their wins, focused on their strengths. I left notes in their lunch boxes. I was very specific in telling them why and what I loved most about them, their uniqueness. As a result, we are a deeply bonded and connected family. And we can talk about anything in our house, even the hard stuff. As a family, we love to play a game called the Ungame, where we get to learn all kinds of things about each other on a more personal level, and it stimulates honest dialogue. Recently, my husband and I were playing the Couples Edition. He drew a card that said, how would your relationship be different if you knew you only had a year to live? His answer was that he would tell me every day how much I mean to him and everything he loves about me. Upon hearing his answer, I said, can I ask you a favor? Will you do that for me now instead of waiting till I'm dying or almost dead? So he has, when he remembers, or I remind him. Being honest and vulnerable can create a bond so close that you feel deep love, you experience joy, and you can talk about almost anything without fear of rejection or criticism. I invite you to try something with me now. I want you to think of one person who means the world to you. Picture their face. Think about what you love most about them and what your life would be like if they weren't in it. Now imagine that person comes to you and tells you what you've always wanted to hear. Things like, you're such an incredible person. You inspire me daily. I love you and appreciate you, and thank you for always being there for me. You are more than enough, and people would be lucky to call you their friend. I am thankful to be with somebody so loving and generous. Do you feel that? That warm, joyful feeling in your heart? feel the love? Now imagine how they would feel if you told them how much you love them and what they mean to you. Imagine if we lived in a world where people would open their hearts to the people that matter to them. A world where you didn't have to wait until you were dying to know that you mattered. You can experience deep, loving relationships with your kids, your spouse or significant other, with your friends. It is so worth it. The joy of being able to truly be yourself and share what's in your heart is greater than any experience I've ever had. If I died tomorrow, I know that the people I care about would not wonder what they meant to me. Do you? Thank you.